I like my recording space like I like my neighbors. Quiet. I say. So anyway, quick tips, just a tip. Just a tip, the little tip, you know. So anyway, something which somebody else has asked me to bring up is terminals, screw terminals, okay? There are various different types. There's those weird little ones that are divided with little black plastic spacers, or sometimes they're rainbow colored, who knows. But anyway, something to keep in mind is how to properly utilize them. So if you come across a device like this, you might say to yourself, oh, I'm gonna stick a banana connector in there and plug it in and fornicate it, and it's gonna be really efficient, but that's not the best case. There's actually a couple of ways to utilize these. Typically you'll find that there is a limiter on these guys that will actually keep them from popping off the end. But you'll also notice that they have a little hole in them, so I will demonstrate that like so. Okay, still working at the whole camera thing. So anyway, you can see that I have got this sitting in the hole. That's where you want to stick your wire. So typically what I'll usually do is take a little piece of wire and I'll solder it. So I'll cut it to about 1/4 or 1/2 inch, just long enough to get underneath here so that the little thumb screw will tighten down on the actual bare wire, but not the jacket. And yeah, you just solder it, cut it, stick it through, and then bam, you put her in, tighten the thumb screw. We'll put that thing there. There we go. And that solves your problem. Another way is with one of those little fork connectors. So you can slide the fork connector underneath the terminal and tighten it down. Very simple, right? These are all secure methods. I'm not a big fan of using, God, I can't remember what the name of it is, but they put them on the same ends of shoelaces. They're these little sleeves that you stick your, I think it's called a ferrule. I don't like putting ferrules on the end of my wires. I like to just solder them because when you tighten it down, it just kind of bites in, you know, it just bites into the wire. It's really kind of nice that, and I use lead solder. Oh, yes. Not compliant, I guess. So something else to keep in mind is you've probably seen these little green connectors on things. We call these Phoenix connectors. They are ubiquitous in telecommunications and anything involving DC. Let me see if I can get this off of this beautiful Tycon switch that Tycon Systems provided to me. All right. So with these guys here, there's a little trick to them. These are kind of like breakers in a sense, where when you loosen this off, you'll see a little drawer drop down. It's like opening your mouth like this. This is closed, and the bottom drops down so you can stick something in it, like wine. And yes, I'm doing 3 videos at a time tonight to try to get these out of the way. I could change my shirt to play tricks on you, but why bother? So yeah, basically you want to make sure that when you open these guys up, you watch the jaw opening. You probably won't be able to see that. If you can zoom that in and actually manage to get it clear enough that you can actually see that opening and closing, that'd be amazing, but this is only 1080p. Not 4K yet. That's next. Okay, so I'll give you a little example of this. Let me get a little teeny tiny screwdriver. All right, there we go. So with these guys that are, go away wire, with these guys that are actually not open, I can't get the screwdriver in. But this one here is wide open. I can get the screwdriver into it, and now I can actually tighten it down. Let's try that again and see if I drop another screwdriver. Oh, it's becoming erect. There we go. So as you can see, I made sure as I was opening the little jaw here that it was dropping or whatever, so that I could actually slide the wire in properly and tighten it down. Now don't be a plumber. There's nothing wrong with being a plumber if you're a plumber, but if you're an electrician, you don't typically want to crank your cables down. That's bad. So you want to tighten it down just enough that it's really, you know, tight but not locked. You know what I mean? Just tight enough that it's good and secure. If you just crank it down until you're stripping threads, you're going to cause yourselves misery because you're going to end up having to try to source these things. And if it's one that you can't take off, you're completely borked. That was just another quick tip. Just the tip. Enjoy. Thanks, guys. Ciao.